Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So today, I wanted us to have a discussion about Blake and her growth as a character and how far she's actually come since Volume 1 all the way up to this point in the series. And when looking at Blake herself, I just wanted us to have a look at how good this growth has been for her character. But anyways, sit back, relax, I hope you all enjoy, and let's go ahead and jump right on into this discussion. So looking at Blake as a character, when you actually think about Blake herself, Blake has really changed back from the Black trailer up to this point in time. As a character that was actually afraid and that went from making bad decisions up to running away, trying to actually make her life right, and obviously having the turn of events of the fall of Beacon, running away again, trying to go back home, making her life better, and obviously trying to go against the White Fang. Obviously she's had some ups and downs. And she did join the White Fang at one time, and it was obviously not for the worst interest. As a matter of fact, she was trying to originally join it because she wanted to actually try to make things better between the Faunus and the humans. But, of course, seeing how the White Fang were, and seeing what they actually did, and how they were actually a lot worse than she initially had thought, obviously she decided to leave them and abandon everything when it came to the White Fang. And, the thing is, when it came to her, Blake tried to run away from her problems, and this happens upon more than one occasion, and obviously Blake thought this was the best solution, was so that if she ran away from her problems, no one she ever cared about would get hurt, and obviously things could continue that kind of life cycle to where she'd run away. And of course, this was not the best solution because, if anybody were to run away from their problems, it only makes them worse because they always follow you where you go eventually. And with Blake, this seemed to actually be the case. And obviously, the fall of Beacon did not help anything, and it just made her problems worse as she tried to run away again. But she had actually made bonds with other people, with her friends, and then obviously trying to leave them because she feels it would be safe for her to just leave and outright be gone, which obviously is not the right solution, to just abandon everybody because she feels that's the best solution. It would have been better if she actually stayed with them. But considering that was her, whole chain of how she actually did things, obviously this led to her doing the same thing as usual, and she tried to escape her problems again. And obviously with Sun following her, it actually became good for her because he actually did help her out a lot upon this journey of her trying to change everything. Now, I'm going to say this. With her slapping him, the thing you have to understand is she was very paranoid of being stalked. So she felt like somebody was stalking her. So it scared her, which, Adam obviously following her and whatnot, this makes sense why this scared her. So I'll give her that one a little bit. A lot of people really hated that, but I'm just going to give her that one a little bit. But Volume 4, when it came to trying to change things, here's the thing I'm going to say about that. When it came to Volume 4, it felt like a repeat of Volume 1 and 2 of how her story went. It felt like they were trying to do the whole thing again, but luckily, Blake was more accepting to her Faunus heritage, to who she was as a person, rather than trying to hide it behind a bow, which is good to actually see that she decided to let go of that. And obviously, she was scared whenever she was found out the first time, which she really more so outed herself when she was arguing with Weiss over the whole Faunus situation in Volume 1. And of course that scared her because she was afraid that humans would not accept her. She was afraid that when she tried to hide herself, she was afraid that if she was found out to be a Faunus, that maybe the racism or any of the bad stuff that happened between the Faunus and the humans would continue. But looking forward and looking at how things definitely changed for her in Volume 4, in which we have to give it to Sun because he really did help her, because he was trying to explain to her that, you shouldn't have ran away, that friends are always going to be here for one another, and that's what she should have also done, was she should have also been there for her friends during the situation at the Fall of Beacon, because they all needed each other. It wasn't just Blake needing her friends, it was everybody needed each other at that point. And him teaching her this, that it's not right to run away, obviously this shows that it's the best thing that she learned this, because for a long time, Blake had been afraid, and running away was never the cycle of how she needed to do things. And obviously, learning from this situation, learning that, hey, I don't need to run away from people that are here for me, that people that care about me, that I care about, it only hurts others. And, obviously, Sun teaching her this really helped her. And the thing is, Blake had her reasons for running because of Adam, though. The whole situation with the White Fang and with Adam, because, yes, Blake made some terrible decisions, and Adam was obviously her obstacle because, him being a obsessive freak of an individual because, it was so to the point where he would just hurt anybody, because he even states himself that he would hurt anybody that was close to her because he was that obsessed with her. That's really bad. No, nobody should be like that. But, he is obviously an abusive individual, and that's not right. But Blake had to obviously try to overcome him, and the thing is, he was her main obstacle. And obviously the relationship between these two characters, it's not a good relationship. The way that he acted towards her, and everything of the sort, it was certainly not good. And what he did to Yang as well, obviously was because of Blake, because he would hurt anybody close to her, and that was the whole end result on that situation. And looking at this whole thing, looking at everything when it came to this, obviously they should have performed this one better. This could have been written better on how Adam was taken on, really, because that whole situation just really kind of brought down Adam. I've talked about this before, but hopefully, since Adam's still in the series, hopefully more can come out of this. Hopefully we can get a better interaction between Blake and Adam than we got in Volume 5, because that was very rushed and it wasn't performed very well. But at least she had the support of Sun, and at least he was there for her as a friend. And, not only did she have Sun's support, but she had Gira and Kali's support as well, which are her parents. And that was good to see that she had a good family, because a lot of people in the past used to suspect that for some reason Blake was actually an orphan. I don't know where they got that, considering there was nothing that ever stated she was an orphan prior to this, so I don't know. But a lot of people used to think that she may have been an orphan, but she wasn't, obviously, and the thing is, she has actually had a pretty good family, and of course, her family members were a part of the White Fang at one point, and I guess that led her to think that maybe that could have been the option to try to change things, to try to, solve the problem between the human and the faunus, which obviously she learned that, no, it really wasn't, that it did not help, and obviously she tried to change a lot of things. And the one thing that I had hoped for when it came to Blake, and like I said, I don't have evidence of this because it was before I had the channel, but I had always wanted Blake to create a rebellion against the White Fang. That is the one thing I always wanted to have happen. I wanted her to stand up to them and get past the fear and be able to say, hey, I'm going to stand up for what I believe is right, and I'm going to oppose what I think is wrong. And obviously Blake is trying to make things better. And that was good that she completely changed from running away, which she had always done, ran away from her problems, and she decided to go from being a flawed character, because she was flawed and making bad decisions, from a character like that to a character that actually is going to stand up for what she believes in, try to do the right thing, try to save others' lives from all this hate. And obviously she even says herself that she cannot stop hate because she doesn't know the solution to that, which is true, because in the world you can't stop hate. Hate just happens, but the thing is, you can try to make things better. And that's what Blake wanted to do. And obviously, Blake worked very hard at this. She really did change a lot of things. And she became a better character through the problems. And of course, Volume 4, it's certainly the writing for Blake's arc in Volume 4. Well, let's just say Volume 4 in general, not just that. But it wasn't very good. But Volume 5 really picked up a bit better. And I think that this really helped when it came to Blake's character, because oddly, this should have actually been worked on, or at least talked about, or something, was her talking about, Adam and her problems with that one. But aside from the Adam situation, she worked through it very well, I think, and she went from being a character that was afraid of what could happen next, that felt like she was powerless, that felt like she didn't matter, that felt like she was just one individual that could never bring up and try to help, try to stop what the White Fang was doing. She went from that individual to a very strong individual that people could work behind, that people could see as a leader. She had a leader role in this, and it was actually very well. I think that she actually performed this very well for the most part, and I think that her also realizing that she doesn't need to run away, that she has people that love her and care about her. And the whole Elia situation also helped with Blake. It helped with her character too, and that she was able to help Elia change as well. And this was a good thing, because it showed that individuals can change, and that she knew that Elia could change too. She could change herself, and which she did. And realistically, Blake really did redeem herself through this. She went from a flawed character who made bad decisions. She went from a character who was afraid. And we all make bad decisions from time to time. I'm sure we can all at least say one mistake we've made in our life. I'm pretty certain of that. And looking at Blake, she went from a character that was flawed and definitely changed. And we could relate to that as well, because I'm sure that we've all made a mistake. I'm sure that we've all wanted to correct it and change it and try to make things better for ourselves. I'm sure we've at least hit that point one time in our lives or another, and Blake certainly hit that point. And I think that Blake's arc really did develop her character better. I think that she got the development she needed. This was definitely development I wanted to see out of her. I definitely wanted to see her be a character that stood up to her fears, no longer ran away, and became a better character out of the situation and made better decisions, and she finally did. And I was glad to see how her character actually turned out, and hopefully we'll see more of her character grow and become better as the series progresses, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But anyways, let me know what you think down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, hit the video with a like, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and share this with your friends if you found this informative or useful. Well, anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you, and have yourselves a good one, everybody.